Okay, so tomorrow's party is canceled. So we don't have to worry about that. We can just do what we gotta do. Where did I put you? I put you anywhere. It's pretty easy there. It's on the fucking floor there. Yeah. Have to adjust the turnbuckle so that it isn't swaying. Yeah, at least these are easier to adjust than on some tractors. You make the change for each implement rather than just kind of winging it. Anyway, we got the wrapper hooked up. Get these things wrapped. Now, a hassle with this tractor is this remote has a detent in it, and so it's not easy to operate because you need just that precise flow control. It locks in, and then you overcompensate trying to pop it out. So I needed to do my hydraulic top link. All right, so the detent locks, and then you have to overcompensate. Yeah, like I just did. So I'm trying to. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's not easy to do. And I could take the detent out, but there's going to be a time when I need it in to operate something that has to have constant hydraulic flow. So that is a pain. I could switch it to one of the others, but I use the other two remotes regularly. And it's not easy to do and undo, so just gotta live with it. But wow, pain in the butt. So the other thing that happens is the hydraulic top link, the head rotates. Unless you keep it steady. Blown. Allison interrupted me while I was getting a wrapper hooked up. Tell me that a chef we know was killed, murdered in a drug orgy, or an orgy of drugs and stupidity. Anyway, mind blown.
The governor has proposed loosening those zoning restrictions.
That's it. That's a wrap on First Cut, mostly. I made a switch in bale wrap colors because I don't know why. It was supposed to denote second cut. Difference between second cut and first cut this year. I was going for, all right, well, that'll figure that out. I got a pin has to catch this so I can lift it up and move it. But I got to put these bales, well, wait, that can wait in the morning. I don't care. At this point, I got to get ready for milking. I made the switch to the green in my head to denote second cut. I was also going to try a different brand of bale wrap. I was going to get Bale Tough, which this crop would have been the perfect thing to test on it because Bale Tough is supposed to be good for really stemmy stuff. This was super stemmy, but Bale Tough was sold out. I switched to Sun Film, which is the same brand as the white stuff. It's a high rated brand. It was cheap enough. It was actually less than the Bale Tough. It's served us well so far. So I bought 8 rolls because that was the minimum. So I'll have some for next year, but also I still have, I still need about 2 rolls, I think. Probably 1 after this roll, part of 1. Anyway, and I'll have some for next year because I thought I was going to run out of the sun film. I actually still have 2 rolls of the sun film, but it's from 2021. I didn't realize that when I bought it last year. It had been stored outside for all that time, apparently, and it's damaged. It wasn't in boxes. So it's a real bear to use. So that's as a backup. I could have actually thrown a roll on here and finished with it. But I didn't want to fight it. Anyway, green is the new color of the bale wrap. Next year I'll buy black if I can. Well, I am cleaning the barn. Finally. Last time I cleaned it, the tracks came off the skid steer and I ended up in a mess. Just literally SH1T everywhere, and took me 4 hours to put the track back on. That was the old tracks. I am now using the new C-shaped tracks rather than the old zigzag tracks, and I gotta say, I am loving how the new tracks turn on the barn floor. They are tracking a little bit more manure because there's bigger gaps between the tread elements, but it's not grabbing, it's not biting, it's not the machine is actually moving rather than adhering to the slab. Even the slab is slick with wet manure, and you would think it would just be greasy and you'd be skidding around all over the place. Well, it's a little bit like that with these tracks, but with the old zigzag tracks, it really gripped and it was hard. And I think that's partly why as they got more and more worn, obviously that one broke 3 years in. Not a lot of hours, but hard hours, I guess you would say, on abrasive crushed limestone, the asphalt, and the slab here. But this is nice. There's a lip to get into the barn that you have to climb, and I used to be afraid of doing that. I used to have to make sure I was square to the edge. I didn't want to try doing that kind of at an angle, like is more natural to come in and turn as you enter the slab. Not an issue with these tracks. Before it was an issue. So yeah, I am really liking the new C tracks. And I hadn't cleaned the barn. The barn is a bloody mess. Disgusting mess. But I hadn't cleaned it because the old track had broken. One of the old tracks had broken. And I also did not want to get in here and have it either come apart or have the tracks come off while I was trying to clean this. It just wasn't going to be practical. It took me, like I said, I wish I'd filmed it. It took me about 40 minutes to take the old tracks off and put the new track on each side. So, hour and 20 minutes total. Last time the zigzag track came off, it was 4 hours trying to get it back on. That was not good. It was not nice. It was partly because it was buried in manure and just couldn't get the idler tension pulley to come back enough, and there were a lot of issues. Anyway, and the track had come, I think in that case, the track had come almost completely off. So, and in a bad location. So that made me a little more reluctant to do the work until I got the new tracks. And I gotta say, I was going to get the zigzag track, just replace, it's what I know, they work. Then I got to thinking about it. The zigzags not only were really grippy, too grippy for the asphalt and the concrete, and also really chopped up on the limestone, but the gravel, stone we got everywhere. But also in the ice, in certain snow conditions, the zigzag tracks were turning the snow into ice, and I'd get stuck numerous times, especially coming up and down the hill. So I'm hoping that these C-shaped tracks don't do that. Just trying to decide where I'm going. I'm going to muck out the majority of the barn first, get it as clean as I can right now. The cows are starting to want to come back in. I threw them out into the forest for the afternoon until I could get this done. As I can. The calves are, what calves are here are still in here, and I don't want to flip them out. But yeah, I'm actually really pleased with how well these C-tracks are working. I wasn't expecting them to be this much of an improvement. The zigzag tracks, when I bought the skid steer, I'd read up on versatile tracks, etc. And it's what they came with. It was what it came with, the zigzag tracks. I don't quite know why. I don't think I specified them, and just happy. They seem to tear up the ground as much, not less than the zigzag tracks, but I guess the zigzag tracks were kind of peeled, certainly on the grass in the field, they kind of peeled up strips as you turned. These C-tracks don't seem to do that. They seem to chew up the ground a little bit, but not peel up big chunks. So, hopefully, I don't know, I haven't had it out in the field yet. I do have some work to do out there, and we'll find out later this week. But yeah, so happy with the purchase so far of these better tracks. Now, unfortunately, the interface between the barn and the ramp here is stone, and I'm not able to get the ramp as clean as I'd like it. I need a different, now that I've got the old skid steer tracks off, what I'd like to do is turn them into a scraper for manure, and I think that would be a very good addition to our modern lifestyle, as it were. Have to be a little careful here about the water trough. I don't know where my magnet holder is for the camera. This will get this barn cleaned out. It'll greatly reduce the amount of flies we've had in here. This week, I'm going to be putting the partition in the shipping container so that I can get the two youngest calves up there, get them out of the barn. That'll help take the stress of room out of the barn now that we've got, because we've been feeding everybody, all the cows in the barn. I've got the heifers here as well, so 14 animals in the barn is a little bit much, with nowhere for them to lay down easily. So by getting the calves out of here, they can have the area where the calf pens are to lay down, and that'll also help make it easier to keep the barn cleaner. I do need to get I either got to make some wood chips or get some wood chips brought in. I'm running out. I've got very few left. And I haven't been running the sawmill much, and need to run the sawmill this week, I think. I need to move that up on the priority list to get some sawdust generated, but I also got an order I've got to take care of. The guy dropped that lumber off in April, and he's been bugging me every week since. And despite the fact that in April I told him it'd be September, late July or September before I could get to it, just because I knew that between the bad weather in the spring we were having and then haying, I knew that we were going to run into problems. Plus I needed to order parts and get the mill fixed. Well, they came finally, the parts got here, and now I just need to make it happen. Need to clean up and get a place to put the baler, because right now I've been parking it in front of the sawmill. It's a priority. Some stuff like that has to happen. Now that I've got the first cut done, I can I'm not pressured to try and take care of anything. And I'm waiting for the grass to grow, literally. I can take care of some of these other pressing, urgent projects. Well, like the shipping container as well. That's got to get done. Because we're going to, one of the reasons we got the shipping container is not only for livestock housing, but we've got some items that need to be stored temporarily, and so I'm going to turn the 10 foot of one end of it into storage, temporary storage. So yeah, that's got to happen. Anyway, getting the barn clean. Well, I'm going to make the proclamation that I think the drought is broken. This is our third day with rain. So, and it's been steady since yesterday. So start nice, heavy soaking rain. You can see the grass in the field is really responding to the wet we've had this week, which is phenomenal. That's just great. Means we might actually get another grazing out of the field, and it means second cut could actually be salvaged. So I'm just here feeding the pigs. The pigs have made the arbitrary decision that their feeding should happen outside rather than in the trailer. It's a small yard. I was trying to not crowd it. Plus I don't want them shoving the feeder into the hot wire and shorting out against the fencing and the trailer. But hey, they seem to want to sprawl out more inside, and that's fine too. I'm going to refresh their bedding, and also the thing is, one just got shocked. It's not going to eat up against. The piglets are gaining well. Have boars getting ready soon to go. I'll have to make a date with the processor, get him out of here. And everybody's looking much better since we put them up here. And people can come to the store and see the pigs too, which is also not a bad thing. I am going to throw some, to keep the smell down, I'm layering their manure out here with hay. Doesn't smell bad at all. It's not concentrated like their little stay in the horse trailer was. Anyway, they'll appreciate having the container to get in out of the dry, out of the wet. But yeah, I'm gonna have to measure grass when it's not raining, but it's looking like things are growing finally, which is phenomenal. Hopefully in another week or so we can get them grazing, cows grazing again. I actually just released the video, I think it's out this morning, of when I made these bales. 17th of June. It's now the 7th or 8th of September. Feeding them out. This one is the mankiest bale I've ever seen. Got a lot of mold in it, a lot of black dark stuff. Now, partly that was that field that I mowed where I had to avoid the wet area that has some marsh stuff in it. And it also was not the best, the best quality feed isn't grown in that field. But yeah, this is gross and manky. A lot of this bale is going to be wasted. I hope they're not all like that. Now, partly that could be from the fact that the baler was dirty. I never did wash it out in between when I baled up that muddy stuff. So it could have had some contamination from mud and soil in there. There was also, the pickup reel was set too low, so it was grabbing soil. I don't have inoculant on the baler yet like I want. And I could have just baled up some really gross, dirty stuff. But this stuff is bad. This is the worst bale of silage I've ever made. There's been some others with some surface mold, but nothing that's gone to this extent of completely unusable. Not for anything, not even for pigs. This is pure compost. So, like I said, I hope before I'm going to be out of first cut bales that we made and into boughton stuff here real soon. Anyway, we've been feeding it out so much. Fortunately, we've had an inch of rain in the last few days, and we're expected a week of sunny, mild weather, spring-like weather. So I think we're going to see some grass growth. So I think the cows can go out for one final graze of the year. Coming up soon, I want to let that grass really get ahead of them because I don't want them to eat it down to nothing and then have no regrowth before frost sets in. Now, it's 7th, 8th of September, and I think up in the county, as it's known, north of here by a ways, they're predicted frost tonight. So that's seems like that's really early. There's already been frost in some low-lying places in August when we had a cold spell. So definitely wacky weather. But I hope the bales I'm buying and the rest of my bales are better than this. So I'm cracking on with a bunch of little projects. I swapped out, I've opened that funky bale from this morning. I decided to pull it up. We'll use this as calf and pig bedding, and I swapped it out for a better bale. I'm just putting up some cattle panels here, just outside the shipping container, so that we can have a little yard here for the calves. And also, should the pigs escape the fence in their container, because sometimes they shove on it. In fact, Rosie or whatever, Red Mom or whatever I call her, she hopped up on the gate, so quite a ways on the gate. Not so I don't think she could have hopped over it, but should they escape there and get loose into the trailer, well, when this door is cut open, if it's not shut, I don't want them just to be able to run around. So this would be a way to slow them down and be a containment yard. But mostly it's for calves. And so we're going to have unfortunately, I don't have I needed like a 10-foot gate or an 11-foot gate, but I only have some 12s, and that's really too big. So, because that would stick out over the edge of the stone and also be hard to open. So, in order to get a skid steer in here to be able to muck out the calf areas easier, to switch and bring in bales and bedding and stuff, I just decided to go with an 8-foot gate there. It's a little tight to get the skid steer in and out of, but not really. And then we're just gonna, for now, close this off here. Eventually, I'd like to have another gate because just on the other side of the crab apple, there's the lane that goes between the orchard pasture and the little front pasture, and also out to the gate that allows animals to the big field. So if we hadn't, eventually we're gonna, that area there, the green, the trees and stuff there, that's all just debris, roses and stuff that has just grown up there. There's a bunch of stuff that needs to get cleared out of there that shouldn't be there, and that can be a way to get animals, like if we had an injured animal or something, That way, if we had an injured cow or something, we could get her out of the field and brought here through the yard and into a pen or something quicker. So that's kind of the idea there, and be able to move animals back and forth. And then we could load them here, too, out of this yard temporarily for now, because we're going to have to load the pigs. So that's the other impetus behind this, is to get the pigs, to be able to open up this door and have the trailer here and then load the pigs in. So anyway, so I have to open this door up, finish cutting this opening tomorrow, I think. I didn't do it today. I felt the pigs really just wanted to spend the day inside. So, and that will definitely freak them out. So I decided to do this other stuff. And also, I don't want to cut that open and, again, not have a pig containment system should they get out. So I want to finish this yard up, open that door open, get that cut open, because then I can finish the calf pen and I can get this bale inside for bedding. And then I want to, the other thing I worked on today is I put up the steel studs in this end of the shipping container right there. So I've got to get some material. I think we're going to put metal roof panels on the inside, on the animal side, and some plywood on this side so we can screw stuff to it. That has to get done before next Tuesday. And there'll be a period of time there where Allison's gone. I won't have a vehicle, so I have to plan getting that material here and getting that work done before next Tuesday, because Tuesday she's coming back with a load of things that have to be stored in there. We need dry storage, and just a place to immediately unload a U-Haul full of stuff, get it in there, dry storage. It's only temporary. It's only going to be for a short while, and maybe even a couple days, or until the next weekend. So anyway, I got to get that done, and I got to make sure it doesn't stink like pigs. So then once the stuff that she's bringing gets processed and is out of there, then we'll clear out this shed, get rid of the shed, and move on with expanding the calf yard here. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm up to. I'm not filming a lot, just kind of get stuff done. It's kind of a low energy day today too, so. But I need to get this door has to be open so I can put the inside metal on the calf pen. And the yard has to be here to contain the cows, the pigs rather. The yard has to be here to contain the pigs, so should they break out. So then that's what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm going to use metal roofing panels in the shed. No. Let's start that over again. I'm going to use metal roofing panels in the calf side of the container, because it's easy, it's clean, it could be hosed and washed down, sanitized, stuff like that. And I want to put plywood on the other side just to be able to screw stuff to. Now the problem is affording that stuff. It has gotten viciously expensive, and I looked online. I was just going to I need 2 sheets of CDX plywood, 1/2-inch plywood would work. That's typical framing, construction plywood. Neither of the big box stores have it. They only have chipboard, and I won't use chipboard in there. Not unless I absolutely have to. And the chipboard was viciously expensive. So that means I got to go somewhere else to try and find this plywood. So, and the roofing panels. So I don't know. I don't have a pickup. I don't have a way of going and getting this stuff. Ain't gonna fit on the car. I suppose I could. Yeah, it ain't gonna fit on the car. So I don't know. I could borrow my buddy's pickup, but I'd only want to go to the big box stores. I wouldn't want to go as far as there is a place that might have some discount. I don't even know if they do anymore. It's been a long time I've been there. The discount, they used to have all kinds of odds and ends of plywood and good quality hardwood plywoods, all sorts of stuff for super cheap. They buy up container loads of random stuff. And they also make metal roofing there. So it's sort of be a one-stop shop, but it's about an hour away as opposed to half hour away, and any number of places in between that I could possibly get what I need at. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to, and also I could go to the Amish place and get some metal roofing cut, maybe. Doesn't matter what color it is in there. It could all be different colors for all I care. I'm gonna have to have 3 pieces because it's just under 8 foot wide in there, and it's about 94, just under 8 foot tall. So the panels come 3 by 3 foot 3 by 8 foot. So I'd have to trim them in length, and I'd have to trim one down because I'd obviously need 3 pieces of that, and can't do it, and there's no other way to do it with metal roofing in less than 3 pieces. So that's $30 a piece. That's a lot. And then 2 sheets of plywood of some kind, and again, I gotta be somewhere where I can haul that easily. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. Wednesday morning, and I'm trying to get water for the pigs. I don't know if you can hear in the background in the trailer. They're causing a riot. Yeah, that. Turns out Red Mama there can climb the gate and keeps trying to worry the gate off of its hinges. Not quite sure what to do about that. I wasn't thinking that was going to be an option for them. But doesn't matter the size of the bars on the gate panel. She'll get her nose right under there and sit there and rattle that thing. All right, this will hopefully hold them for now. I had originally put a cane bolt in so that it would be down in place. Oh wait, I just screwed up. Huh. All right, anyway, the cane bolt was supposed to hold it from coming this way, but she's been pulling up on the gate. So I just put a couple of 2x6s well bolted down so the gate can't come this way. And now I'm trying to put something so she can't lift it up like she's about to try and do and unpin it. At least it can't come this way, but I don't want her to bend the gate. She seems to be the only one who wants to do it. I don't quite understand her rationale. All right, well, that stopped that. Sunlight's pretty on the buildings. Must be a nice sunset. Yeah, these self-tapping screws are just too short and impractical to hold that board on the bottom, and I probably also ought to put one up higher. So that means about 32-inch bolts and nuts and washers. I need a handle and a couple of things to act as door stops. Figure that out. I do have a roller guide for this side. Keep it the right distance out. So top and bottom probably with wood. So I'll make a list. I can't go tomorrow. It sucks having only one vehicle. Really, really sucks. It's impractical to take the tractor to the closest hardware store. In fact, the closest way to the lumber yard, our closest the feed store and lumber yard, is now they're torn up the culvert where the river crosses under the road. So that road is closed so you can't go through. So it's a long way around. So it's impractical to try and take the tractor. And having one car sucks. Allison is busy off on deliveries today. It's late. It's almost milking time. I got to get going for milking. Tomorrow she's got an appointment in cheese making. My dad's coming about 2, so kind of want to visit with him. So I guess I'll have to go Saturday because Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, Allison's off on a trip. So, and I need to get this room. So she's going to pick up the stuff that has to go in this end. So that has to happen. So I have to make this door. I mean, at least I can get in there to put the paneling on and then close this back up. But really, to make this functional, I need a few things. And I could be working on it while she's gone. So I guess I'll go Saturday morning after milking. And do need to come up with something, I guess, because this gap is unacceptable. But again, I can frame that in with some lumber or something. We'll add that after the fact. That's no biggie. I'd rather have the extra ventilation once we get the calves in there, and once the pigs are gone in the winter, the door will be open on sunny days. So that's the other reason I want to make this. I also have to put in some kind of door stops so it can't come off the track. So that's a couple of 1/4-inch bolts and nuts too for that. So anyway, we'll pick things up another time on this project. Right now, we're running the electric fence off a power cube and a little portable solar panels. I gotta say, today was really the first day. Ooh, look at that sunset, beautiful. Today was the first day we really worked it, and the first day I've actually charged the cube to 100% off the solar. I had it set up here to catch the morning sun, and by the time the sun was up and we were out, it was already charging. So, and I moved it around a little bit during the day to catch more. There was a point where it was 100%, and this was overcharging the cube, and it was shunting the electricity. The charger, the electric fence charger, doesn't draw enough on this cube for it to register. And so I started charging some batteries, and that brought the power down quite a ways, and I'm about 70% now with the afternoon sun. I need to get an extension cable for this solar panel so I can move it out and have it somewhere where the sun is. And then probably what I'll do is I'll bite the bullet and buy. This came as a kit. It was on a Labor Day special. The price point was attractive. We weren't paying attention to what we were buying and just bought it because it was on sale, blah, blah, blah. But the portable solar panels can be handy because we could take this and have an event down at the river or do something and have the cube stay charged on a sunny day. So that's nice. But I'll probably switch to some permanently mounted panels somewhere. Just with this tree here, the sun east is there, this is south. This little shed, which is going to go away, was mostly in sun, enough to charge the cube during the day. But I'm got a 20-foot extension cable so I can get the panels out more in the sun during the day when I'm using it. It's the charger draws the power cube down about 70% during the day. It's not ideal. We're running it the most inefficient way. There is a way that charger will accept 12-volt battery, and they last quite a while that way. But I have to get the cable. The cable's $30, and then I'd have to rewire it to fit the DC outlet on this. Now, there's different settings on this. I have it on rabbit mode. Did that change? 34 hours. Well, it says it's 68% now, and it says this will go on that mode for 38 hours. So we'll see what happens. It's been running okay. I just need to have a better solar setup or connect. I mean, I can connect the cube up to the mains power, but we don't want to have that. We want a permanent solution that we don't have to think about. And also that power cube is going to power some LED lights in here. So we want to have have it charging whenever it needs to be charged.